Some nights a day, and Ryan on way. Stories of a small town life. Sports and joy cut like a knife. Hot stove leading full chat. High school dreams and college stats. Wednesday morning, tales unfold. Memories and news retold. Tune in, B1039. Curries voice and life's sweet line. Sheriff Miller by his side. Lively bluegrass, hearts alive.
And here we are. Good morning.
Morning.
Hello, hello, hello.
Morning, Brian.
Morning. Before we get started this morning with our two guests, a little public service announcement. I just got off the phone with Tim Nessel, Road Commission Supervisor, about we have a group of young people in the Morley area, Austin, Deerfield, Etna townships down there that aren't really respecting the roadways like they should. Tearing it up, doing a lot of skids out, but then at the same time, they're really tearing up the roadway down there. Roadways that the county and townships have paid a lot of money for. So just a little public service announcement. We are going to have a lot of deputies in the area, and if seen, we are going to make sure that we're prosecuting those that are tearing up the roadways. And just there's some responsibility that comes with being a licensed driver in the state of Michigan, and just a lack of respect for the roadways, those that are on it, and yourself, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and to add to that, it's all new pavement that they're doing it.
Right, correct.
What the hell's wrong with it? I'll tell you what's wrong with our society. It doesn't penalize when they should be penalizing these kids. You say you're going to prosecute them. Well, you do your job, Brian. Get them into the court, and the judge slaps them on the hand to go home with a $200 fine. When in reality, they'll say, okay, boys, you get out there and fix that road. Well, we don't know how to fix that road. You're going to learn how to fix that road.
Right.
We got to go back to Wyatt Earp days. I've been watching a lot of Wyatt Earp. But anyway, good morning. We got a couple great guests here from the north. But I just want to take a moment. This morning I was sitting there and hooked at Curries. Al Lawson and Don Helder and Bill Torrey always sit in this little booth. And I kind of slid over there to talk to see if I could get some wisdom out of Don. Everybody knows how much wisdom Don Helder has. And as we were conversing there, Al says, or Don said, who's that gal there you got washing the front doors there? I turned around and looked at her and I said, well, it looks like a new hire, probably a young college girl or a high school girl. And Lawson said, is it? Kind of looks like one of yours. I turned around and looked again. It was my Maddie May. She's in 8th grade at St. Mary's. Got the day off today. I guess a lot of them went on.
They're going to Whitecaps game.
I didn't recognize her. But you know what? I was telling those guys, I says, and that's why we all should get along, because it's only a moment in time. She was a little girl the other day, and now next year she goes into high school. She's playing all these sports, and now she's working at the gas station. Be a 4th generation of Curries washing windows. That's where we all started. My dad was notorious about cleanliness, and hopefully that'll carry on. But that being said, this morning I'm excited. Brian, you always get some great guests. Last week we had a great guest, Brooks Miller, their basketball coach at Ferris State. Great guy. Just met his assistant on the phone last night. But I'm excited about today's guest this morning. I've always admired Reed City, and one of the reasons I admire them is because of the family that they have up there. I mean, I'm related to the Kylan, so I've known them for a lot of years, and they're very close. I've known the Hansons up there. The guest today, Ryan Hanson's AD in Reed City there. I knew his dad when he was a state trooper. I was a record driver back in those days, so I knew all those state troopers. But anyway, and then after I quit driving record, I got to know him a little bit better, even though I'm only kidding. But then we have your coach here, Mr.
Coach Granice.
Eric Granice.
Eric Granice, the baseball coach up at Reed City. As I have spoken before, and I'll get off my little log here, but I've always admired Reed City. They're very competitive in any sport, every sport they've ever had. They've been very good at all the way from Roger Steig with the wrestling. He's got a lot of history there, about 40-some years at the helm of wrestling. You talk about passion. Reed City has passion. John Williams, the announcer at the football games for many, many, many years. You go to Reed City football game, everybody knew John Williams because of that voice over that mic. That's called passion, and it's called family. They're a very proud group up there. And it's not ironic that they would go ahead and hire a guy like Ryan Hanson that played in Reed City, excelled in Reed City in his sports. We'll talk about that in a moment. Comes from a very good family. Again, he just excelled at everything in life that he's done. I've talked to people in Reed City, and they say, we don't know how he does it. He works 16 to 18 hours a day. That takes a lot away from your family, but it takes a great wife, and we'll talk about her a little bit, too, how she's put up over all these years. And then not forgetting his family, his children. He's raised a great family there, and we're so appreciative of that. So wins and losses are very important in life, but when you absolutely look at life, the win that you want is family, and he has done that, and his family done a great job raising him. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning, Pat. Thanks for having me.
Oh, God, no. I'm glad to have you on here. I like to talk about people's lives, and your career's not over. You're probably going to something else, but I understand you might be retiring after this year?
Yes, sir.
Wow, what made that big decision? I mean, you're still young looking. I'm going to have to ask. A lot of people say, don't ever ask my age. Well, I'm going to ask you. You're a pretty young man yet, but you put your time in. How many years you been doing it?
At Reed City, this is 26 years.
26
and I think
years.
that's one thing, and kind of piggybacking off what you said. One community, one job, stayed with Reed City the entire time, fresh out of college, and that's kind of what I wanted.
I want to get you on YouTube here. Bobby's got it on me. I think Bobby likes me with my Dots hat on. I'm going to take my hat off now. I had it on long enough, all right? All right, now we got it over to Ryan. All right, Ryan, we're back at you. All right, so what led you into education in the first place?
Honestly, I think just the history of my schooling and the quality that I had as far as I enjoyed my entire high school experience. Everything that stood for is kind of what led me to my career. I loved athletics. I tolerated the classroom. And then going off into college, always told that, you have to go into a certain career to make money. And so I kind of dabbled with either, was I going to go into some engineering direction because I love math, but I really enjoyed sports. I enjoyed being around a family type, community type situation. And so I went my freshman year at CMU, and I took an engineering class to test it out, and it was kind of crash and burn. I just didn't have the passion there. Always wanting to coach, and I loved math, and that's kind of how I was led back in that direction of education. So elementary, you went to Reed City. Everything's Reed City. When you got in high school, what sports did you play? I played baseball, basketball, and football.
Which was your favorite?
Football was my favorite.
Was it?
Not so sure that was what I was best at, but yeah. And again, it's back to sacrifice and adversity and togetherness as a team. I think all of those things heighten, what the sport means, and of course then it's glorified on Friday nights. So all of those things contribute to why I think people just love football, is how much you have to sacrifice.
You played basketball and baseball. What year did you graduate from Reed City?
95.
Okay. So did you have pretty good teams back then? Reed City's always been competitive. But which one was the best sport that you excelled in? Was it football or was it baseball?
That was kind of, we weren't really known as a football school.
Back then you weren't?
No. Monty Price pretty much brought that to Reed City.
Mm-hmm. What year was that in then?
I think he came in 98 or 99.
Really?
Yeah.
Where'd he come from?
So he's an Edmore resident. He went to Montebello.
I never knew that.
Yeah. And he's actually my first cousin.
Really?
So yeah, he got hired. I can't remember if it was 98 or 99 as a PE teacher. And I think at the time he was a freshman football coach or a freshman assistant. Prior to that, I think he was coaching at Montebello. And then it took him a year or two to get traction, and then got that job that started everything. But we loved football, and our class was pretty good back in the day. But back then, that was when you had to win 6 to get in. I mean, it was the next. First of all, it was a whole point system, and then all of a sudden they said, actually, no, there wasn't. It was not 6 and in yet. It was a point system.
Right.
And you had to be, I don't know how many schools got in, but it was extremely difficult to get in. I know Big Rapids had a couple of really good football teams that never even got an opportunity.
Yeah.
And we were really good my senior year, but we ended 6-3. We played Belding in game 9, and they ended up winning the state championship, and we lost to them 20-8, which it was. It's funny how I remember all of these things.
Right.
But that was the largest crowd I've ever seen at a Reed City football game. It was home, and the fans were all the way around the field.
So you graduated in 95, then you went to Central after that?
Yes.
And then where'd you go after that year?
So when I went to CMU, I was there, and I student taught at Shepherd.
Okay. Oh, so you went 4 years there.
We'll call it 4.
4.5, 5.
4.5 or 5.
So
You enjoyed your time.
yeah. At that point, did you assistant coach? Were you anywhere coaching anything at all?
So during college, it was just, I actually was a server over at one of the restaurants there, and then transitioned into a bartender. And I spent a lot of time doing that. But I didn't start coaching until I was hired at Reed City in 2000. And
So you got right out of college and went right to Reed City?
yeah, and I was going to go to Shepherd. I really, really loved their community. I had a great experience. They offered me a job, and at the time it was my girlfriend, and she had a position in Pine River.
Oh, wow.
And so she said, please just go apply at this job at Reed City. It's a 6th grade math. Well, I wasn't even qualified. I had a secondary education degree, so that's 7 through 12. But you can do some things to work around that. And so I said, yeah, I'll at least apply. And then so I applied, and it wasn't much longer. They offered me that position, and that's where I started.
Talk about your girlfriend. Did you marry her?
I did.
Yeah. Did she go to Reed City?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And let's talk about her. What's her maiden name?
Harrison.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so then you have children.
I do.
Yeah, how many?
3.
Yeah, 3. You've had a pretty good life there with her, eh? That's pretty, how many years have you been married then?
Almost 25.
And now is she going to retire? She's still teaching?
She's not. She has been an elementary teacher, and she was a classroom teacher, has moved over now into like a reading specialist position. And she's really enjoying it, and I think she's going to work a couple more years at least. And, you know, if she still likes it, she should still do it.
What do you credit your longevity of being married? You know, a lot of people aren't as fortunate as you and your wife, but you have dedicated yourself more to that school than anybody that I've ever known. Now, I'm sure there's people out there who's going to dispute that, say, oh, well, Mr. Erickson did a great job back in 1950, but we're talking right now 2026, Ryan. Anybody I talk to up there downtown, I've gone to Sonny's, you know, we talk about sports up there. Reed City, I've always admired you guys. You're very competitive. Even with, like Brennan Walsh, you were smart hiring that guy. He's gonna have some fun times up there. But even though in his last few years he hasn't done what he's wanted to do,
He will.
oh, I know he will. But he's kept his head up there, and you guys take a lot of pride in him up there right now and support him. That's great. But then I'll start talking about you a little bit, about being the AD and all the hats that you wear. I mean, you've had to hire coaches, you've had to let some go, and you've had to do your scheduling and everything else. That's got to be pretty hard on a lady of your wife there. I know my wife used to give me hell all the time. She goes, "Don't forget you got kids here at home." Did you ever hear that?
Yeah, and I think with this,
We got to laugh a little bit, right? Bob, just interrupt for a minute. Bob controls the video here, right?
gotcha.
And the audio, and the whole works, really, don't you, Bob?
I'm
You
just
can cut
waiting
us
for
off.
you to stop talking. I mean,
Well, I'm excited about that. Go ahead, Ryan. What is it?
And Bob, feel free to keep the camera off me.
No, you're better looking than I am. So go ahead, Ryan.
You know, she has the extended family that is around this area, and she has a great, huge family, and they do everything together. So I think that might have created an opportunity for me to have a longer leash.
Right.
I'll say that. And I couldn't have asked to be a part of a better family. So, and that is I have to admit that's part of the reason why at this point I'm moving on. Is there's just been so many instances over the past few years where I've been asked to do something, or I needed to do something, and I looked at what I had in front of me, job related, and I had to make the decision to put my job first, and it was kind of gut wrenching. There's been many instances that's happened, and it keeps being, I have a tournament to run this weekend, or I have, or maybe it's a late night coaches meeting that we're getting ready for the next season, and it's like I can't go to dinner tonight. I have to go do this, and all self-inflicted. So I understand that I've created my own problem, but I can't back off. There's nothing that I can't take the foot off the accelerator of how the job should be done. And as a result, now I have to make the decision. Do I take the foot off the accelerator of how it should be ran?
Why do you think you're that way, Ryan? Your dad do that to you? Your mother do it? You're a very well-disciplined person, obviously. And you're very, very dedicated. You just aren't. It's in the blood.
Well, understand, I know Samantha Belfuse is listening right now, who's my assistant. She's probably going to start laughing, but my personality, I'm so type A that's a strength and a weakness all at the same time. It's a strength because I do feel like I double and triple check things and make sure that everything is ready to go and things run smoothly. But at the same time, the stress level of doing it, because I'm double and triple checking things, it was kind of my worst enemy at the same time, if that makes any sense. There's so many athletic directors who have a different way about them. They're really good in the public, really good PR people, and they let things roll off their backs. And I'm not that way. I wish I had thicker skin. I have a little bit of thin skin, and that's tough in this business. And as a result, I believe those types of personalities can do this job a lot longer than me.
Would you tell somebody to follow your footsteps?
Yes, as long as it fits what their lifestyle is. I would not change the last 5 years. It was time for me to leave the classroom, and I was still teaching, but it was only 2 hours a day. It was in the middle of in the day, and I was teaching a personal finance class, so we followed the Dave Ramsey principles.
Wow.
It gave me a little
You're
bit of
teaching that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. Do we do that in Big Rapids, Brian?
Not a clue.
I don't think we do.
I'm pretty sure they do, because
Oh, they do?
Yeah, I don't know.
it's mandatory to graduate.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, I learned something today. We're too old.
And it should be at an even higher level.
Right.
But I mean, so we cover those principles, and I looked at that as almost like a little vacation in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
It allowed me to switch my brain for a while. So I enjoyed that, but I did enjoy moving over into a leadership role. When you're a school teacher, you are strapped to the classroom. It's hard to use the restroom when you need to use the restroom. I mean, I know that's ridiculous to say, but or I can go to lunch when I want to go to lunch now, where before you get, they call it a half hour. It's more like 20 minutes, and you hurry up and eat and get your butt back to the classroom. So there are some negatives to the school teacher's schedule, and I wanted a bigger role. I wanted a leadership role. Love athletics, of course. Thought I could make a difference, and I got shot out of a cannon when I started. And again, part of the reason why maybe my longevity wasn't as long as what I kind of wished it was.
Yeah, but you've done a great job. You get a lot of people think the world of you, but the only guy really that you gotta be happy for is yourself. And I think you're starting to realize that now. And you like I say, Type A, and there's a lot of positive being a Type A, because Reed City really has benefited from the Type A guy that you are.
Right.
But you didn't.
Well, and again, I want to emphasize that I wouldn't trade the last 5 years for anything.
Right.
They were amazing.
Well, you left your mark.
I made so many relationships that I would have never had made. I mean, even people in my own town that I knew them as acquaintances or whatever, I learned more about them. So I'll never regret the last 5 years. I just know that it's not sustainable any longer for me.
Good for you. Now, let's talk about your dad for a minute. He was a state trooper. I'm going to ask his boy this question when he comes on here, because his daddy's a sheriff. What was it like to live in a small town of Reed City that everybody knew who the cops were, and state police ruled Reed City back in the day? I don't know if they do anymore, but Mike Bliss and Johnson, I remember all those guys. Too many that I could be mentioning right now, but your dad was one of them. What was it like growing up in Reed City, being a state trooper's son? You really had to toe the line. And let's talk about your high school days, in your sports athletic events. You were a pretty good ball player. Your son turned out to be very well. How many kids did you have? 3?
I had 3.
You have 3, I'm sorry. So 2 boys and a girl?
Yep.
So your oldest son, I remember watching him, right?
Yep, his name is Peyton. He's 23.
Yeah. He was a force. I remember going to the games. I know both grandpas, they were both there and everything, watching them play Big Rapids. And oh, my God, that old... Kylie was coach of him, wasn't he, Jesse?
In basketball, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I remember those heated games. Reed City, there's no place like Reed City to watch a basketball game. But then your other son, how old is he then?
Spencer, and he's 20.
And then he was a pretty good athlete too, then?
Yeah, and the funny thing is I mean, and Eric can attest to this, 2 totally different kids.
Right.
Love them both.
Usually
2
are.
totally different kids.
Well, talk about him. What's the difference?
Well, so Peyton, I still don't know. I mean, physically, he was such a big kid. I think he was fully grown by 7th grade. Ended up being in high school over 200 pounds. It was a linebacker. That was not me. I was in high school. I was 155, 160 pounds, and I was like a safety or a corner. So he was running back and linebacker, and the funny thing is he was kind of he was a passive kid, believe it or not. I mean, he had aggression, but he was naturally a laid-back, passive mind. So he had to work hard in everything he did to bring the aggression out of him. And he was the type of kid who I could take anywhere, and we would sit and work on skill work, whether it was taking grounders at third base or whatever. And he loved to work one-on-one, and he wanted to work on skills. Spencer was the complete opposite, smaller, agile, quicker left to right, and the ferocity in his brain and just the competitive spirit of Spencer. And I always thought if you could crash the 2 of them together, you'd have one really good athlete.
You know what? It was Spencer, the one I watched then, because he was a scrapper. He was a football player playing basketball sometimes, wasn't he? Very fast.
And the thing is
did he go out for track?
He did, only because he dislocated his shoulder in football and he couldn't play baseball because he had surgery his junior year. So he ran track 1 year, and he would admit not very good at it. And, he couldn't do probably the things he would have been better at with the field events. He could only do the like sprints and things like that, and he just wasn't a direct line sprinter.
So what are the boys doing now?
So Peyton went to HVAC school.
Oh, that's great.
And graduated just this last spring, and he just got hired immediately down in Wyandotte, which is south of Detroit.
Yeah.
Absolutely loves what he's doing. He's learning as a technician, and I'm so happy that he found what his interests were, because as a dad, you screw up along the way, right?
Is that what your dad said about you?
I'm
just asking.
My dad left me alone and allowed me to make my
We're going to go back to your dad in a minute here. All right, so then.
So I was always trying to help my oldest in making decisions. Again, he was a little passive, so sometimes I had to give him some advice, and I gave him the advice of going into something like accounting, because he was always on spreadsheets. He just enjoyed that, and so that was his initial thing, and he went to Alma to play football for a couple of years and got a little bit of an experience there, but just wasn't for him. And then he came up with this all on his own, and then I said to my family, my wife, I said, I'm staying out of things from now on, because I apparently I don't know how to give advice on that end. So
you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah.
From my
yeah, you just
you two are a lot alike here with your kids so far. Go ahead.
So he decided to do this all on his own, and of course, my wife and I have supported our children unconditionally with education and whatnot, and he did it all on his own. He picked everything, the school out on his own. He went and graduated in a year, and now has a job, and he's going in a great direction. Spencer, he's going to Michigan State, and he's in the business school, and loves the atmosphere down there, and he's doing great. He's home this summer pouring concrete, and he's doing fantastic.
Work for Billy, is he?
Yep.
Yeah. There's only two guys up there at concrete, Chuck Rogers or Billy Barron, right? Gerber Construction. Give him a little plug there. But so then your daughter.
Alexa, yes. And she's a 10th grade, finishing up in 10th grade, and not completely a competitive spirit, but loves to be involved. So out of the blue, we would always go over to my in-laws out on their land, and she all of a sudden decided she was going to take a bucket of golf balls and a driver, and she was just going to go out and start hitting balls. And before you know it, she joined golf in the fall. And so she played golf last year, and she did really well, as somebody who's never picked up a club before. And I think that kind of goes back to what we stand for at Reed City, is we want every kid to be involved. And it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be athletics. We've created a lot of cool things lately. We have a chess team.
The trap shooting. That's huge.
Yeah, equestrian, quiz bowl. Yeah. We now brought in esports. All we want are kids to do things other than go to class. I mean, of course, go to class, but what else are you going to get connected to feel a part of something? I think that's kind of our main goal over the last 5 years, is just we want as many opportunities to kids to find their passion as they can. And watching all of the different sports that we've kind of created for kids to test, their passion and find what makes them tick, that's really what we want to accomplish.
You ever looked at the percentages of the kids up there playing sports?
It's not very high. It's sad.
Well, I think it's that way everywhere, though, right now. I mean,
it was worse COVID created a 3 steps back, right?
Right.
But I do see it it's trending in the right direction. And creating all these things, it also thins out the quality of how well you can compete too. So it's kind of for example, they so badly want us to start a boys volleyball team because it's now
one of the big things right now.
I didn't know that. Big Rapids have one?
I think there was one locally. I think that Jim Nostrand, who I think you guys just hired on, looking at kind of starting. That's, you talk about girls wrestling, you talk about girls hockey, and then boys volleyball, I think, are...
And girls flag football's coming too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's kind of scary from my perspective because...
Thins things out.
When you have a small school, you can only do so much. So when we bring things in, I always have to take a step back and look at how is this going to affect other programs.
Right.
Boys volleyball would really sting. That would probably.
What?
And I got Eric sitting
Would
next
that
to
be,
me saying, "Why are you even
spring
bringing
season
this
then?
up?" It would be a spring sport. Yeah.
Baseball's better.
I know Adam, back in 2003, he graduated, and he told me back then, I says, you're going to have a pretty good basketball team? He goes, yeah, but we'd have a great basketball team if some of these guys weren't playing hockey.
Yep.
He goes, there's some really good athletes in
Too
hockey
bad.
that should be playing basketball. If that was,
Speaking of which,
we got a lot of sports.
Eric hasn't said a word yet.
I know he has. We're gonna
Okay.
get to, but
So let me ask Eric something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are your kids still playing or skating or hockey or anything?
Yeah, my oldest is 5, and he did the learn to skate with like Magna
Yeah.
Gifford and the figure skating thing.
All right.
So he loves it.
All
But
right.
we're getting there.
Okay. It's a cult.
Hockey is.
Yes.
Let's take a break at 9:30. We want to thank our sponsors. Put that on me, Bob.
All right.
Bob,
Here it comes.
can you turn on me?
Yep.
Thank you, Bob. First of all, I'd like to thank Zots Bar and Grill.
Yeah.
Sports Player of the Week.
Yep.
2 coaches here. But I want to thank Doug and Roxanne. And
Best burgers in town.
we're gonna take a break.
All right. Be back with more Curry's Hot Stove League right here on B1039.
Hi, this is Pat Curry. We're right here with Brian Miller at 1039. We talk about what's happening with sports in Big Rapids. Well, we got a new sponsor. None other than the Great Body Shop right on Maple Street, east of the bridge in Big Rapids, Michigan. It's called M&M Collision Center. They're celebrating 30 years of trusted, top-quality auto body repair and remains the name you can trust. Whether you have a major collision repair or a minor fender bender, our award-winning team has you covered with free loaners and vehicle detailing with every repair. They work with all insurance companies and treat every vehicle like it's one of their own. From auto body repairs to supporting local community organizations, giving back to the community is part of who they are. Come and see Matt and Devin and Trish and Justin. Just a great group of people there. Come and see why Big Rapids trust M&M Collision Center of Big Rapids, where quality and community come together.
Come say cheers in Zots Bar and Grill. Downtown Big Rapids. Great food, great prices, and great people. So come on down where everybody knows your name. Zots Bar and Grill, the People's Choice Best Soup winner. The burgers are where it's at. Originally opened in 1933 with seasonal beers on tap. Located at 732 North State Street in Big Rapids. Zots Bar and Grill is a proud sponsor of the Signature Player of the Week for the Hot Stove Sports League every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m.
This is Alec Gary of Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes in Big Rapids and Barrington. I believe what sets Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes apart from everyone else is our commitment to service excellence. When a family calls, we are there before, during, and after the funeral experience. I want you to be able to trust calling us. You know, we're here to guidance and counsel each and every single family to each and every single need. And we just feel like the commitment to families, especially ones that put their care and trust in us, we are going to go above and beyond to do anything we can to help a family during their time of loss. This is Alec Gary, a legacy of service, a promise of care with Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes, located in Big Rapids and in Barrington.
M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing has been in business for over 30 years, gaining the trust of Big Rapids and the surrounding communities. M&M Lawn Care can handle all your lawn care needs, as well as tree jobs and including removal. Call for a free quote, 796-4956. They're fully insured. Call M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing.
Proud local sponsor of Curry's Hot Stove League.
Come say cheers at Zott's Bar and Grill in Big Rapids. Great food, great prices, and great people, where everybody knows your name. Zott's, people's choice for best soup. You don't want to miss their award-winning burgers and chili as well. Originally opened in 1933 and serving it up ever since. Seasonal beers on tap. Located at 732 North State Street in Big Rapids. Roxanne and Doug at Zott's Bar and Grill are proud sponsors of the Signature Player of the Week for the Curries Hot Stove League every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. When was the last time you checked your tires? At Big Rapids Tire, they know how important it is to keep your ride smooth, safe, and reliable. Whether you're cruising down the highway or navigating tough weather, a fresh set of tires ensures you're ready for anything. Their expert team will help you find the perfect tires for your car and get you back on the road with confidence. Brakes, alignments, struts, and shocks, they do those as well. Don't wait for a blowout or worse. Visit Big Rapids Tire for unbeatable prices, quality, and peace of mind. Big Rapids Tire, Northland Drive, just north of town.
Looked at Curries.
Pete, why do you come to Curry's?
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I go to Curry's to get that cheeseburger with caramelized onions and mayonnaise and ketchup. And you're not going to ask, where's the beef? It's going to be in the bun.
And we're back.
Oh, we're back. Bobby, we're back in there off in Pacing. Yes, sir, the fair's coming up. We got 3 live nights of harness racing. It only happens one time a year, so
In the
be
auction.
there. Huh?
In the auction, Cooper and Jack and all
Oh,
the
yeah,
kids
on
got.
Thursday night, yeah, the
Yep,
fair
got
week.
their
Every
pigs.
week we should promote the fair, say something about the fair. All I can say is it's the cleanest fair and it's safe fair, thanks to Sheriff Miller here and his posse. And we got a lot of things to do at the fair this year, so come on down. Well, with us right now, we got famous Ryan Hanson with us. The guy's put all the sports programs up for Reed City for quite a few years now. And it's last year, so we've got him on to talk about his life. And we've done that this last half hour a little bit. But he didn't answer one question, and that was, and I'll give him 30 seconds, what it was like growing up in a small community as Reed City is, living with a father that wore the blue uniform. Ryan?
It was good, but it was bad. You know, I mean, first of all, we lived smack dab in the middle of the town, which is not the way it works anymore. Right. So we moved to Reed City. I think he got hired at that post in '79. Wow. So he got promoted from a post down in the Detroit area. We lived in a town called Romeo.
Yeah, I know Romeo.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't remember it. I was 3. So when I was 3, we moved. So in 1980, we moved to Reed City, and at the time, there were 3 state police officers that resided within 1 block. So to look at the evolution of just how things have gone, it does seem like families have moved outside of the town into the country. Or, you know, and I shouldn't speak about the state police post in Reed City because I don't know it very well since he retired, but it just seems like
things have changed.
The police officers now come from Cadillac, Big Rapids, and they're not within the town, which was kind of a cool thing back in the day.
And I'm going to get my soapbox.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I first started, we were as close with the state police as we ever were. We all, I mean, you know, I'm going to speak some younger troops, you know, Rob Glentz, Matt Nabliski, Travis House, Eric Sumter, Tom Nolan. There was a group of guys, and we were all very close. And they all lived in the area. And then what happened is the state police shut down Reed City and made it more of a depot or whatever, and then they went regional and made the Mount Pleasant post. And what happened is part of policing is knowing the people that you are supporting and protecting. And I think the state police lost that because these guys don't work or live in the area. So how can you really know who you're supporting when all you're doing is driving through, taking a complaint, driving back out. And so I think the state police dropped the ball on that when they went regional and closed that, because I think they really lost out on that community aspect of things. You become more vested when you live in that area.
Right, yeah.
So my question again is, what it was like growing up in that house with a state trooper. Were you goody two-shoe?
Well,
you never got in trouble, did you?
My dad wasn't the one in charge. It was my mother.
Okay, let's talk about
my mother
your
was
mother
in charge.
Okay.
And, you know, at the beginning, my dad worked midnights. And all I can remember, I mean, my memories of being a young child is how we had to be quiet until a certain time and because he was sleeping.
Right.
So she was the one who had to keep us in line because, you know, my brother was 3.5 years older than me. And
what did your mother think when she moved up here from Romeo? Because now we're going from Livonia Mall to Giant Way in Reed's Big Rapids.
So they were Edmore grads.
Oh, they were.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they wanted the country scene.
Okay.
So this moved them closer to home.
Okay.
So I don't think that was a problem at all. But I think it was my mom that was, you know, who had to keep us towing the line and whatnot.
What did your mother's folks do? Farmers?
So my grandparents on my mother's side owned a restaurant.
Okay. Where was that at?
In Edmore.
What was the name of that one?
Ross's Restaurant.
Really? Right downtown?
Yep, right downtown.
Wow.
And I don't know what it's changed to now, but...
Yeah. The Ross's Restaurant, downtown Edmore.
Yep.
And then your mother worked there in your younger years? High school years? Probably.
I'll say probably a little bit.
How many siblings do you have?
2. Yeah.
And where are they at?
So my aunt, which would be Monty Price's mom, she lives down in the Belding area.
Okay.
And then my uncle lives down in the Lansing area.
Wow, you got some blood there, don't you?
Yep.
So you see Monty quite a bit then?
No, I don't. You know, he's the one who got me kind of injected into coaching. As soon as I got hired at Reed City,
You coach your kids?
I did, yeah. In fact, you know, that was kind of, I took a leave of absence, so to speak, from the school coaching when my kids were in the youth programs, because the one thing I wasn't going to do is I was not going to prioritize other kids over my own. So when my oldest started to get into the T-balls and the you know, the machine pitch era of baseball and rocket football, I then moved over and I coached youth for those years and continued through when Spencer was there. Then when they came back onto the scene, and I started coaching middle school basketball and whatnot.
Did your dad coach you at all?
He did. It was at like the youth levels, and it was, if you remember Gordy Allers, he was
Gordy, yeah.
And there was a lot of dads that kind of helped out and whatnot. And I think my dad coached softball for a hot second with my sister. So, and I think Gordy was a part of that.
See, now, that's why I always tell people, if you look at what you are, it's somebody that was there before you that was just like you.
Right.
So you emulate your dad.
Well, and the thing is there's been many times where I've had to public speak. It's not my favorite thing to do in the world, by the way. But all I can remember is wanting to preach to these families in the stands, whatever you do. And like, I had to give a speech for the senior send-off, and all I wanted to do was talk to the graduates and say, whatever you do, please be a part of your kids' lives, because that's what's going to matter. Your future kids, how are you going to be involved with your kids? Because that's what I attribute my success to, is just unconditional support from my parents, and in every way, shape, or form, and just simply being there. They attended everything of mine. They never missed anything. It's just that's kind of where I would that and just surrounding myself with good people. I've never been the sharpest tool in the shed. I attribute my success to just surrounding myself with good people. You know, I don't know if you remember Dean McGuire.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
An amazing guy.
He's in Florida now, right?
Yeah. Well, he bounces back and forth.
yeah.
But yeah, I was assigned to him when I became a school teacher. Our classrooms were next to one another, and he was my mentor. And a lot of the success and a lot of the characteristics that I have, I've learned a lot from people like Dean that has been there for me and given me a lot of advice.
Your dad come off the farm?
My dad hasn't farmed.
No, did your dad's dad?
Oh,
What,
no,
Grandpa?
yeah. Back in the day, they grew up on a farm. Yes, yes.
It's all about family, though, isn't it?
It is.
And it's a pretty simple American way of life. If you have family, that's American life, you know. And
Absolutely.
Nobody tries to push anything on anybody else that they don't want to do, but carry your own weight.
Right.
And take care of family, and you'll be successful. Well, that's great. It's been nice talking to you for 46 minutes. I feel sorry for Eric. We can go past 10 o'clock, by the way. As long as we're interesting.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, as long as
Not too far.
Well,
So-
the boss isn't here, so.
Yeah. I don't think I have any more questions for you, Ryan, but I'll tell you what. I've
I got
always
a
admired
question.
your whole family, and I really appreciate what you've done for Reed City. I'll carry on that pride of Reed City, even though I've been Big Rapids Cardinal guy for a long, long time. But Reed City, there's a special place in my heart for the people up there, and I think the reason that is because they do have heart. Reed City is
Absolutely. I appreciate
heart.
it, Pat.
Yeah. Go ahead, Brian.
How much do you take part in the hiring for Trap?
Trap is completely not school affiliated.
Okay, so you can't have anything to do with Trent Livermore being the coach then?
No.
No, I'm just kidding. He's our jail lieutenant, so
Gotcha.
I like to give him.
No, and that program has been extremely successful.
Awesome. Right.
Tony Calabrese and Jack Adrian,
Yep.
they've done an amazing job, and again, it just can't be school affiliated,
Right.
And that's
Okay.
that's, equestrian's the same way,
Right.
Oh, equestrian's not?
No.
See, Big Rapids, it is.
Is it?
I don't know if it is it?
Yeah, it is. I helped get
Oh, okay.
back in Sherry Gilbert. They
Sherry,
were
yeah.
recognized, and I was on the school board then. And I said, you know what? These guys put a lot of time in that, and they're good old American girls and guys in that. And I think it's just as important as any other sport.
Well, and I mean, what does school affiliated really mean? I mean, it means that you don't get funding from the school.
Right.
Right.
But it's still all our kids.
Right.
Many of the coaches are either, for equestrian, Amy Decker has done it, and Sarah Morlock has done it for the longest time. They're both in the middle school. So,
Really?
yeah, it's just quote unquote not school affiliated.
Right.
But they're recognized coming from Reed City.
Yeah, and we have banners on our our stadium and whatnot to recognize those programs because they are the community.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So now we got to give Eric some time here. The baseball coach last night, there was a big game here in Big Rapids. Reed City against the Cardinals, right?
Right.
Brian?
So you guys are 19-10 on the year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Successful year, 19 wins. How many games do you guys have left?
We've got 2 doubleheaders. We go on the road to Fremont tomorrow.
Okay.
And then we're home against Lake City on Tuesday, and then the district play.
So you're going to have a 20 win season this year.
We're hopeful. The kids are itching for it.
Yeah.
Hoping to get one last night, and it just didn't work that way.
Go ahead. I'm going to be quiet and let you guys roll.
All right. So 21 season, 9 seniors. So you have a large class, just like the Big Rapids, I think, has 9 or 10 seniors. You got a couple kids. One, I think off air we talked a lot about is a young man that I knew since he was less than a year old, Reese Dew, and just to see him grow, and his dad's one of my good friends, and to see them last night. And I did not realize this. So last night I show up to the game, and in between innings I go over to the Reed City side, and Todd Dew's sitting there with Bill Burmeister. And I go up and give Todd a big hug and go up to Bill, and then Todd walks and say hi to Bill, one of the best men you're ever going to meet, I think. And Todd walks Bill up and comes back, and we're talking, and he's like, yeah, that's my uncle. I'm like, did you know that? Mm-mm. Todd Dew and Bill Berman, and I didn't realize that, so, but it was good seeing Todd and last night, and Sarah and Jimmy Summers, just some, you talk about
me, talk about you.
Yeah, you talk about how close we really all are. I mean, I played softball with Caleb Summers' dad for years growing up, and then Todd and I coached together for years, and our boys, we're in preschool all the way up through baseball and hockey together, and just there's a special bond there. I think, Alec, you've mentioned talking to Coach Gary last night, or maybe the day before, and
yeah, talking last night, he said that it was like the first time that he's really seen each team know each other so well. Like you said, Reese and your son grew up together. Caleb plays with JT Scarpelli's team in the Ducks, and that's a lot of Big Rapids kids, Johnny Lazinski and some others that all play together, and they play, like, being in small towns, the kids play different sports between football and basketball, so these kids see each other a lot throughout the year.
Yeah, so, I mean, the only bad thing about yesterday, I mean, from my point, is the weather. The weather, it was almost like there was a cloud circling us the entire time, so it rained for like a half hour, stop for a half hour, and then rain again. It was just kind of cold.
Yeah, it was rough.
But outside of that, so districts coming up. Who do you guys have? Because you're in a different one than Big Rapids is.
Yeah, so we're in a completely different division. We're in D3.
Oh, that's right, correct.
So
yes,
we
sir.
have Everett, Mason County Central, Manistee, us, and Pine River are all in the same district. Everett and Mason County Central will play in the pre-district next Tuesday. Then they play the winner of, the winner of that game will play Manistee. And then we open up against Pine River at noon next Saturday. So we have to travel all the way to Manistee for that. So we're excited. We just want to kind of right the ship from last night and going into tomorrow, and hopefully playing well come next Saturday.
So you guys, I mean, honestly, you don't want to look ahead too far, but you got a very winnable district.
We'd like to think so.
I mean, seeing you guys and knowing you.
Yeah, we still got to play. We know that, I mean, Everett's in our district. Everett's got the ultimate weapon in Aiden Anderson. Right. I mean, he's good. He's effective. How Josh Johnson limits and kind of manages his pitching staff is going to be a puzzle for him, and we know that. But we've been preparing for it. We know that if we want to win district, we're going to have to see Aiden Anderson, and we're going to have to go through him. So, and it was the same thing last year. So we've been preparing for it all year. We're getting ready, and I think our focus this year has been really contact driven. So I think last year we've done a whole lot of comparing of our stats from last year to this year, and this is a great thing about Game Changer. We had 7 wins last year, and now we're at 19.
Right.
And it's just a tribute to how these kids have kind of bought into everything about being contact driven. I think last year as a team overall we hit 221. We're hitting 306 this year, and a lot more games, which is substantial. We scored 122 runs last year. We've already doubled that.
That's awesome.
And we've played just 3 more games than we did last year. So these kids have really bought in, and they're playing well together. And some games kind of like last night kind of get away from us. But other than that, we're playing great baseball. We're still playing good competition. It's not like we're not, we play Morley or Lakeview or whatnot that maybe not have the athletes that we do. But I mean, we're still playing good competition. Kingsley, BR, some of those other teams that really give us a challenge. We're competing, and we're playing really well this year.
And who's is Caleb your number one?
I don't know.
I mean, when it comes to pitching,
I don't want to say we have a true number one. Mm-hmm. Me and Coach Frost, Dave Frost, has been my assistant since Ryan left in 21. So we've done a really good job of managing who's got the hot hand. I mean, if you want to label a number one or a number two or number three, Usually we've got the Dozier boys.
Yeah.
Brady and Tanner.
Sorry.
They've been who we've been rolling out in conference, and it's not like they're not overpowering, but they get the job done. They make guys put balls in play, and we've been playing defense behind them. Caleb will go out and he'll, like in a tournament championship that we've played in the last few weeks, usually he'll go out there, or when we want to win games, we'll put him out there too. So I wouldn't say we have a true number one.
That's
not
good,
like,
though.
Not like an Aiden Anderson or a Max Hammond or a Ty Gilchek, but we've got a really good a well-rounded pitching staff that will fill the zone. They'll make guys put balls in play, and our defense is playing significantly better than what it has in the past.
And that's where I guess I look at that Big Rapids team. You know, I don't. You have a true number one there either. I mean, you got a couple of Carson Rakoff and Cole Heist, and then you got a bunch of other kid.
Miller.
He's okay.
I mean, he shut us down last night, so.
Pretty good. Yeah.
But yeah, you got a group of other kids that can step in, and that's actually what it's about. You know, is being able to throw different pieces in, and you know, the Dozier boys did well. One's a senior, one's a junior. Is that correct?
No, one's a junior, one's a sophomore.
Oh, so you got them coming back.
Yeah,
that's
Brady,
awesome.
Brady, he started game one last night, threw well, and he got us through 6 innings, and so he's a junior.
Okay.
And Tanner's a sophomore, and he struggled a little bit last night. That's not prototypical Tanner.
But look at the weather.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. He said he had a struggle to find it, and I mean, even with weather and a pretty good hitting team like BR is, then it's just a culmination of a lot of bad things that happen. So, but no, yeah, we're excited to have Brady and Tanner back next year. We're gonna have a lot of holes to fill defensively, and that's for sure.
I think you look at both you and Big Rapids, and anytime you lose 9 or 10 seniors, you know, there's gonna be an adjustment period that's gonna have to take place, and you know, next man up.
Yeah,
you know,
and I think, I mean, one of the biggest things that we're looking kind of into next year, like how we can develop and keep this rolling into next year. And we've been spoiled at the catcher position since Peyton Hanson's senior year. So my first year coaching was Peyton's senior year. He was a 4-year catcher, caught for all the years that Marty Schaefer coached.
Yep.
And then we had one gap year. Isaac Williams stepped in, and he led our team to the regional finals where we lost by 1 to St. Francis. And then the last 4 years, we've had Baron Bowman behind the plate since he was a freshman, and he's handled a significant variety of a staff. I mean, we had Noah Morgan, Xavier Allen, and Max Hammond, who all threw mid-80s, and then now it's an adjustment between and his senior year, he's catching Caleb Summers, who's in the low to mid-80s, and then Brady Dozier's in the mid-70s. Tanner Dozier's there, and then Reese. We kind of pick on Reese, but he's not going to blow anybody away. But Barron has handled.
But he's smart.
Reese is smart, and he'll hit his spots.
Yeah.
But we're excited to see our catcher development into next year. We've got a JV guy down there that came up and caught with us last week, and he did pretty good. So. We're excited moving forward, but a lot of more holes to fill defensively for sure going forward.
Right, Pat.
Well, I just listening to you two guys. The unfortunate thing about playing baseball in Michigan is the short season, so it's kind of unfair because you got some great athletes there that just got done playing basketball, and a week later or two they're starting to practice baseball. Next thing you know, the first game's coming up within 10 days. And then we expect them to go out there and play with finesse, you know, with the challenges that they got ahead of them every week is unbelievable, and how good they are. To me, it is mind-boggling because, like, football starts in August. And so you get 6 to 8 weeks before a football game starts. Basketball, same thing. Well, not all the time. Reed City goes to them finals. They ain't going to play basketball. Brennan's up there biting at football, get it over with. But you got some great athletes up there, you know, and I love baseball. I really enjoy it. My grandkids are all of them are playing it, except for the 2 little guys yet. They're not old enough. But I love baseball, and I was kind of one of those guys that set back and said a few years back, we should play into June. And I think we would see baseball even better, because you got to admit, as the season progresses, your pitchers get better, your reactions get better, shortstop gets better. And then just as they get to be at their best level, it's over.
Part of the problem is those seniors, though. You know,
trying to never
keep them
happen.
engaged.
Right,
saying,
exactly.
But I'm just saying right now, if you look at the beginning of the season, error. At the end of the season, there ain't too many errors. Those boys are starting to get on it right now, and that's kind of nice about post game. You know, having.
Yeah, that's something that we've been really, really good at the last few years. Is we'd start off really, really, really slow, and then we get to playoff time, and we're playing the best baseball. I want to say our regional final year, the year we won conference, we started off like 0-8, 1-8, something like that. And then we went on a stretch where we went like 19-4, and we only lost one conference game, and we had like no errors for the last 3 weeks of baseball. So, and it's just something that you don't really see a team make that drastic of a change. So we've prided ourselves on that, and maybe it comes to a fault at some point because now we're not finishing as high in conference as we want to, but we're trying to right that ship now. I want to like going back to like comparing stats, and it's pretty much the same team from last year to this year. We had nine juniors last year, and those guys all came back, and those also guys got significant time. We had almost 100 errors last year, and we've cut that in over half.
Yeah.
So, and then like I said, we had 5 errors in the last game against BR yesterday. That was in 2 innings. So we're trying to right that ship really quick and get it rolling back again into district play.
Being a small school like Reed City and Everett, and where I stand with a lot of guys, 3-sport athletes, is that true up there? A lot of those guys played basketball.
Yeah,
I didn't really followed the names this year, but I know talking to Brennan Walsh on his basketball futures there, he's very, very hopeful and very tickled to death to have some great athletes coming up. Not that he didn't have some this past few years, but he said the program's really getting turned around. He's got some great underclassmen coming up. That being said, you're getting those same classmen?
Here and there. I mean, there's some really good athletes that play basketball that have tried twisting their arm into playing baseball that I think could really help us out, but it just didn't work that way. Some of them go run track, which, I mean, they're fantastic track athletes too. But I want to say like the number of 3-sport athletes is almost diminished a little bit from what I've seen. I mean, somebody like a Baron Bowman, this is the only sport he plays. Reese Dew plays 2. Caleb Summers plays 2. Brady Dozier, Tanner Dozier played 2. So, I mean, it's fine. Mr. Hanson or Ryan Hanson's thing is we want 3-sport athletes. I mean,
what's going on there with that, Ryan? Why are people doing that?
Let me just say WBZX Big Rapids.
Well, go ahead and say it then.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Now I'm done saying it.
Oh, God.
So I'm going to shut up again.
It's 10 o'clock. No. I appreciate you sitting there. You know, last night I had an important call come in, and I had my youngest grandson, Knox, with me. He's only 4 years old. And I said, no, you got to be quiet for a few minutes while Papa takes this phone call. He said, okay, Papa. I was on that phone for 15 minutes. I was telling my wife about it. He could have got out of the Ranger and did something, but he sat right there. Never said a word. That is a compliment to his parents, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I mean, that kid's that well-disciplined. For 15 minutes, I said to my wife, I couldn't have sat there for 3. Shit, I'd been doing something with the glove box, right? Oh, stop. Hell, like nobody's ever heard that word.
Yeah, they've heard that word, but Ryan, they can complain to the FCC.
Oh, don't turn us in a B1039 WBZX. Ryan, why is that? Why are kids going like hockey is so, that is the love of their life. It's something about hockey.
I don't know what it is.
They don't want to play nothing but hockey. Is that good or bad, Ryan, to go?
I think it's terrible.
I do too, but
especially for a small town. I mean, you can maybe get away with that in Forest Hills Central or Rockford, or whatever.
Right.
I think it's what we stand for, and it's a mentality. You know, I mean, I think society is changing to be way too focused on self and individualism, and it's really it's eating at me. I preached to all of our coaches, and all of our coaches are on board with this. Is we want to create teams that feel more together, and how can I contribute for the success of the team. I think, I don't know if it's because everybody's taking selfies of themselves and it's just going into our brains that it's about me, myself, and I. I find it to be a cancer, and I wish we could just keep moving in a better direction. I think this whole specialize in a sport is this thought of I'm going to make it big time somewhere.
Right.
And I'm sorry, it's just, I hate to crush people's dreams. In Reed City, don't hold me to this, but I think we've had about 3 or 4 Division I athletes in the past 20 years. It's just not, it should not be the focal point. The focal point should be, how can I contribute to make my community proud and be together as a community, instead of what's the school going to do for me to catapult my kid to the top. And if I were to say the one thing that just eats at me every day, it's this.
Yeah.
You know what? If you look at how many have we produced to play national, pro, like football, National Football League? How many Big Rapids kids have left Big Rapids and went on to college and then the NFL? I think one.
I can think of one.
Yeah, and if I think of Reed City, if I said to somebody in 1989, who was the quarterback? Somebody from Reed City might be able to tell you who it was, but nobody outside Reed City.
Right.
So enjoy all the sports you can. That's why I like both of my sons. I love them because all their kids are playing multiple sports, and they're not just saying, oh, my dream's going to be basketball in high school, basketball in college. Because hell, you get up in college ranks, you're a small percentage. But I remember it was quite a few years ago. I don't know why I'm even talking about it, but I want to talk about it. There was a coach in Big Rapids that told his kids on his team, that sport, play only this sport. I will guarantee you scholarships in college. Never got one. Never got one.
Right.
And those kids are good athletes. They should have been playing football too, but they didn't. And they went on in life, and some of them got trouble. Some of them couldn't take it because mentally they were the hero to Big Rapids. But once Big Rapids, we forgot them. You know, I mean, you got to go on with your life. And I'm glad to hear you say that multiple sports is very, very important to people's lives. And the end results is you teach them teamwork. And I'm just all for it. I mean, the one sport thing I'm not for.
Especially in small towns, we just don't have the capability of that. We have to, our teams wouldn't survive if everybody specialized.
I will say one guy in Reed City I will never forget in my lifetime, and he was the best athlete come out of Reed City in all sports, Herb Lindsay.
Herb Lindsay.
Oh, he was my age. My God, could that guy run? Holy Lord, I think he's still running, isn't he? But you know what he did? He went out west and learned in the mountains.
Right.
Where the air was thinner and got his lungs pumped for that. I mean, and the other thing I wanted to touch on, just like my nephew Justin Curry played football at Big Rapids, went on and played Western, and got walked on to an NFL team. I think it was the Giants for a while there, and then he went to Cleveland, and he ended up with Pete Carroll at Seattle. But when he was young, he used to go 3 hours down Detroit to a trainer. And when he was in high school, he traveled. But he pushed himself. You got to want to do it, not your parents.
Right.
You got to want to do it. A lot of these kids at that age, they ain't going to do that. You know, once they get out of high school, they ain't going to go travel 3 hours to learn from a trainer. But anyway, it's been a lot of fun today. Baseball, All-American apple pie, right? You know, the baseball. And Ryan, you've been a big asset to Reed City. I know they'll be forever grateful for all the hours that you put in. I talked to a lot of people, but I've never talked to so many people that talked about somebody like they have talked about you, the hours that you put in. Now, I know our ADs put some hours in too, but this guy, what do you got to say about him, Eric?
It's like nothing that I don't think any other school district is going to see. I mean, I see him. I drop my kids off and I drive by his house every day, and he's leaving the house at 7:30, 7:40. He's at school, and then On Friday nights, he's not home until 11 o'clock. And game nights, like we played against Grant until 9 o'clock the other night, a couple weeks ago, and he wasn't home until after I was home. So the dedication that he has to not only our district but our kids is unwavering, and I don't think we are ever going to see that again. And whoever comes in is going to have some massive shoes to fill, and I think some of our other coaches have said that across the board too. But I think most of the thanks and whatnot needs to go to Tracy and the rest of his family, because there was a point where it was either going to be him in my position or me. And I think Tracy said that there's too much time spent in baseball and going to all the youth games, but then now he's doing what he's doing and spending even more time. So the support from his family has been unmatched, and I don't think we're gonna see another AD like that for a long time. I know it's not gonna be me. I don't have that type A personality like he does, but
plus you got a couple young kids.
Yeah, I've got a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-month-old.
Okay,
so
yeah, there's no way in heck.
No. My wife has already expressed that sentiment, and that's fine.
Well,
so
I liked last night. So I sit next to the Big Rapids dugout, away from a lot of the parents and stuff. And I'm sitting, and Eric's coaching third base, and I hear, "Bye, Dad." And I turn and look, and it's his wife and child, leaving. And I thought, that's, just brought a smile to my face.
No.
Where did you grow up, Eddie?
I went to school at Reed City. Okay. Graduated in 2014. I never had Mr. Hanson as a teacher. I think by the time that I got into time to take his math classes, he bolted back to the middle school, but played football, basketball, baseball, did all the same things, and the same person that got him into coaching got me into coaching and education. So Monty Price brought me in after I graduated, playing football for him, and started coaching. Just changed my major from business to education. Now I'm teaching elementary PE, and I'm loving it. I get to show up in shorts and a T-shirt every day and run around and play games all day. So,
real quick, what did your mother do?
My mom has been around. She worked at AutoZone for a while. She's done a lot since I've been alive. A lot of stuff in like the automotive industry and working at different automotive retailers and whatnot.
And Dad?
My dad did the same thing. He bounced around from here and there. Was manager at Domino's for a while, and then manager at Rent-A-Center here in town for a while. So, yeah, they also came from families of teachers. My grandpa taught at Everett for a while, or I should say for a while, for 30 plus years. And then I had my grandma on my dad's side taught at BR for a while, and then my grandpa on my dad's side taught at Chip Hills for over 30 plus years. So, come from a family of teachers and moving out.
Coaches too?
Yeah, my grandpa over at Everett, he coached everything and anything. He coached softball in the 90s, baseball in the 90s, football, basketball. I want to say he taught or coached track. My grandpa over in Chip Hills coached cross country, like the cross country field that they run on right now. He mapped that out and built that. And then he coached wrestling and track and field. So,
it's in the blood.
Starting to think I know his family. Yeah, from Chippewa Hills, right? Yeah, I know him well. What did Small World? Could you see any place you'd rather be than Reed City right now?
Nope. No,
Why is that?
I don't know. I grew up with it. I've been in the district since I was 4. We've always lived in the area. Like I said, my dad went to Chip Hills, my mom went to Everett. So I've always been in the area, and when it came time to kind of put us in school, and with everybody kind of being like within school districts, the place to be when I was started in school was Reed City. So that's where my parents took us. They've been living there since 2000, since before right around where my brother was born. And that's just where I've been. I went to Albion, played football there for a semester. Wasn't my thing. Moved back and started coaching, and I can't see myself anywhere else right now.
Yeah, we got Reed City produces a lot of guys that end up in education and end up involved with sports, don't they, Ryan? a lot of, you look back at your coaching career and your AD career, like Cody Wyman, for instance. Look how involved he's gotten in athletics. He just lives and breathes that. And he went to Olivet too, didn't he? Or I think he went to Olivet and played a little football.
Yeah.
And now he works for the city as an engineer, doing a great job down at City Hall there. And Reed City boy, passionate about the coyotes, you know, and now he's in the Big Rapids. But yeah.
I think we've done parent meetings before where I put up the list of coaches to introduce the coaches to the parents. We do that at the beginning of every season. And the one thing that I emphasize when I introduce the coaches, there may be 15 coaches to introduce, is almost every one of these are Reed City graduates.
Unbelievable.
And you know, you look at the communities that have a lot of success. The ones that stick out to me are McBain, Beale City.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny how they don't leave. They stay and they continue to, you know, from generation to generation. And I think that's only a compliment to the communities.
Right.
And I think Reed City has a little bit of that.
Yeah.
You look at Coach Anise down there in Corona. The Nieces, they made Corona, and they're still on top down there. The Nieces are involved. The Haskins were down there in Owasco, that family was big down there. Yeah, you're right. But Reed City, I've always noticed those guys. Look at Jesse Kyling, for God's sake, at Sonny's Bar, right?
Right.
And we go up there and eat. If you get a chance, we want to go outside of Big Rapids, go up to Reed City, go to
Well,
Sonny's.
part of the reason Brennan, I think, was in Reed City was because of Jesse. And kind of Jesse helping him out when he was young. So
Yeah. But it's really been a lot of fun growing up in Big Rapids. I've been very fortunate to live next to Reed City. I always tell everybody, but I always want to beat them. But if they beat us, I take great pride because we're very competitive teams. And you guys are a much smaller school than we are. But you're right in there hitting hard. That football has become a big pride symbol of Reed City up there, as baseball is too. But if you look up there, and then Brendan with his basketball, when Reed City goes to play somebody, they know they're playing somebody. Reed City, the opposition knows they're playing a team.
Mm-hmm. Well, and we're also not afraid to play anybody too.
Right.
And
Right.
I think the one thing that we've done is if everything's postseason focused. So, for example, football. Of course you're forced to play the teams within your conference, but then if we have 3 non-conference games, do we want to ensure that we make the playoffs and play some smaller schools that we know we can beat, or do we want to play teams that are going to be playoff-like teams that are going to prep us? Mm-hmm. And if we lose all of those games, then maybe we shouldn't have made the playoffs anyway, right? And so I feel like in all of our sports, we're always focused on the end goal. In basketball, Division II, it doesn't make a lot of sense to play super small schools when in the end we have to face Ludington, Big Rapids.
Yeah. Why is
most
that
of the time
basketball?
Cadillac?
Why do you do that?
So
Because they're bigger than you.
yeah, and I think the MHSAA is constantly looking at, do we split into more divisions? There was a discussion a year or two ago to go from 4 divisions to 5 divisions, and it just never happened. And again, I didn't really give it much thought of why, but we had to vote on it, and we had to give our 2 cents on the matter, and then they make the final decision. But 4 divisions, you're going to get lumped in, and for whatever reason, we fall at the bottom of Division II a lot. In baseball and softball, we sneak into Division III, which next year we'll be back into Division II.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Our enrollment's up about 40 students, which pushes us up a division. But in basketball, we're sitting at 400 and some students in the high school, and we played Cadillac, who's 800 and some, pushing 900. Yeah. So, my brain always asks, how cool would it be if we could double all of our athletes, and that's how we would compare to competing against Cadillac, is because they have twice as many high school students. But it's still, you still compete, and you try to build the biggest, the best product to put out on the court or the field, and you give it your all.
You know, I know we got to get going, Bob. Appreciate the extra time. But you don't sound like a guy that's retiring. You sound like a guy that's talking about the future. So
Right.
What the hell are you going to do when you retire? How are you going to slowly get back? Are you going to be an assistant? Are you going to go in there and say, I'm going to help a little bit? Because the problem with helping a little bit is like me going into the gas station, then you don't leave.
Yeah.
You almost have to walk away from it. How hard is it going to be for you to walk away from it?
And I understand that many people have told me, why do you feel guilty for leaving? And because I've told a lot of people, I feel guilty. Something I have to do, a family decision, but I do feel guilty, like I could give more. But there has been some of my coaches that have said, you know, I get why I felt guilty when I've left things too, and it's a natural feeling. I do have to try hard to stay away because, like you said, if you get in, then you go in with 2 feet. You know, I've been asked already by Scott Schenkel to go back and coach football.
Then go back to baseball.
So I'm going to give it some time, and who knows?
What are you going to do?
I'll probably be up in the press box on Friday nights. Is probably where I'll end up being.
Yeah.
Next John Williams.
There you go. Well, I want.
Well, what do you got planned? What are you and the wife? What are you guys going to do this summer? When is your last day?
So officially, my last day is June 30.
Okay.
And we'll just see how it goes. I'm pushing hard to hire the next athletic director as quickly as possible because I want time. It doesn't mean that person has to listen to anything that you know. I mean, whoever takes over, he or she can make the decisions of what they feel is correct. But I would like to work a couple weeks with that person. I don't have plans, Pat.
What do you think is going to happen?
I'm trying not to have plans.
What's going to happen to Ryan Hanson Friday after you walk out of Reed City? I know, as emotional as you are, you're probably going to have some tears. Somebody might not see your tears, but I think you're going to have some tears, knowing that you loved what you're doing, but you're going to love what you're going to be doing. So doing that Monday morning when you wake up, and it's summertime, your wife's going to be home with you, and your daughter's going to be home with you. Is she going to say to you, let's go camping, Dad, up in UP?
No, there's going to be a honey to-do list.
She's not going to say that. But
No?
the to-do list, I could see happening.
Right.
A lot has been neglected around the house, so I can imagine, Brian, you're right. I think the to-do list might be large. But no, I just want to kind of be with my family, and I mean, I'll just let things happen. I don't really want to have a plan at this time.
Good for you. Well, that's the way I wanted to hear it. But you know, I know your Uncle Joe real well, Weckham, and follow him in his tracks. He's always going out to his camp out there on Hawkins out there. You know, you can go out there and relax and pop a beer.
Okay, there's a resemblance there with Joe and him.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either until.
Well, he's on the married side.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Harrison.
Really?
Len was a Harrison. Jackie.
Joe's a great guy.
That's great. That's great. They come from the Hayeses.
You're losing me.
The Hayeses are one of the greatest people. If you want to talk about American, hardworking Americans, tough people. So anyway, that being said, I want to say God bless America. What else?
Good luck to you, Manistee. Ryan, good luck to you and your retirement. And
thanks, guys. Thanks.
Enjoy yourselves.
Thanks for having us.
What's going to happen is next fall when we start talking to the football coaches up
Scott
in
every
City,
week.
we'll be calling Scott up. Scott said, just a minute, I'll let you talk to my assistant because I'm teaching right now. My assistant's retired now. Ryan Hanson, go ahead, offensive coordinator.
You're
Ryan
exactly
Hanson
right.
For the Coyotes.
I hope Scott's not listening to this.
All right.
You know what? I tell you, he was a good hire. I love that guy.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's been a great guy to interview every week on football. I'm looking forward to this fall, aren't you, Brian?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, there's some, and then Big Rapids, of course, we got a great coach too. So anyway, that being said, any last words for you, Ryan?
No, we appreciate the opportunity to be here, Eric and I. I mean, anytime that we can speak and represent Reed City and the Reed City community, that's what we want. So thank you very much.
Well, we'll have you on again maybe next year sometime and tell us how it's going on retirement. Huh?
Sounds good.
You want to say I love you, honey, on the radio?
I love you, honey.
There you go. God bless America.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Pat Krieg. We're right here with Brian Miller at 103.9. We talk about what's happening with sports in Big Rapids. Well, we got a new sponsor. None other than the Great Body Shop right on Maple Street, east of the bridge in Big Rapids, Michigan. It's called M&M Collision Center. They're celebrating 30 years of trusted, top-quality auto body repair and remains the name you can trust. Whether you have a major collision repair or a minor fender bender, our award-winning team has you covered with free loaners and vehicle detailing with every repair. They work with all insurance companies and treat every vehicle like it's one of their own. From auto body repairs to supporting local community organizations, giving back to the community is part of who they are. Come and see Matt and Devin and Trish and Justin. Just a great group of people there. Come and see why Big Rapids trust M&M Collision Center of Big Rapids, where quality and community come together.
This is Alec Gary of Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes in Big Rapids and Barrington. I believe what sets Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes apart from everyone else is our commitment to service excellence. When a family calls, we are there before, during, and after the funeral experience. I want you to be able to trust calling us. You know, we're here to guidance and counsel each and every single family to each and every single need. And we just feel like the commitment to families, especially ones that put their care and trust in us, we are going to go above and beyond to do anything we can to help a family during their time of loss. This is Alec Gary, a legacy of service, a promise of care with Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes, located in Big Rapids and in Barrington.
M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing has been in business for over 30 years, gaining the trust of Big Rapids and the surrounding communities. M&M Lawn Care can handle all your lawn care needs, as well as tree jobs and including removal. Call for a free quote, 796-4956. They're fully insured. Call M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing, proud local sponsor of Curries Hot Stove League.
When was the last time you checked your tires? At Big Rapids Tire, they know how important it is to keep your ride smooth, safe, and reliable. Whether you're cruising down the highway or navigating tough weather, a fresh set of tires ensures you're ready for anything. Their expert team will help you find the perfect tires for your car and get you back on the road with confidence. Brakes, alignments, struts, and shocks, they do those as well. Don't wait for a blowout or worse. Visit Big Rapids Tire for unbeatable prices, quality, and peace of mind. Big Rapids Tire, Northland Drive, just north of town. Come say cheers at Zott's Bar and Grill in Big Rapids. Great food, great prices, and great people, where everybody knows your name. Zott's, people's choice for best soup. You don't want to miss their award-winning burgers and chili as well. Originally opened in 1933 and serving it up ever since. Seasonal beers on tap. Located at 732 North State Street in Big Rapids. Roxanne and Doug at Zott's Bar and Grill are proud sponsors of the Signature Player of the Week for the Curries Hot Stove League every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m.